everyone. I'm Randy Gore, and we're joined now by Coach Manuel Montero of the North Allegheny boys soccer team. Coach, thanks for being with us today.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Randy.
Well, we have Coach alongside for our fall preview for boys soccer in North Allegheny. For yourself individually, you're coming off your first season as head coach at North Allegheny. And, how did you feel about the transition between the coaching staff and the players in year one and what you saw in terms of growth from the team as the season went along?
I thought the transition was pretty good. I think Coach Bobby and I like to kind of try to keep possession of the ball, which is rare in high school soccer where they're very direct. And Bobby also kind of had the idea of for the most part, he wanted to keep possession. A few different things, but for the most part, it was a pretty good transition. I kept quite a few of his coaching staff as well, so that part also helped with the transition. And they were also very, very helpful and filling me in on our opponents and just the area. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good transition. I think the boys responded well, and yeah, I thought that transition was pretty good on all fronts.
Now, some talented players graduate from last year's team, including all WPIAL defender Aiden Dyga. How do you hope to replace those guys, and who are some of the returnees that you are expecting to see big things from?
Yeah, no, there's no way to replace them. Like Aiden, I think phenomenal player, but not just him. I think we got a little bit unlucky on our season, and a lot of our guys, for example, Ben, a kid that I think the other coaches just didn't maybe see his talent. We had our other captain, Gubby, and Danny Stevens. I think that's going to be a huge loss. Kevin Lou, he battled with some injuries throughout the season, but he's phenomenal. So guys like them, you really can't replace them. But it's a team sport. You kind of have to, unfortunately, turn the page over, look into our next man up. I think we'll look a little bit different, but I think we're going to be very good. Nathan Katari, I think that was part of my philosophy of bringing in young kids, or not necessarily young, but having the best players with the varsity. And I know it rubbed people a little bit the wrong way last year. He was a sophomore, and he had his ups and downs. I thought he had his season wasn't as good as both Nathan and I expected. But I think that was a very, very important year for him where he showed a lot of growth. And I guarantee you this year he's going to be one of our main guys. Arnav, he dealt with a big injury. He had a hernia. So, and we knew that coming in. He's one of the best players in the program, and he was only kind of coming back into his own the last 2-3 games into the season, which was as expected. Where I was looking at him more for the playoffs. That was our goal when I took over the program. But I expect Arnav to kind of lead this team. Luke Brady, a kid that phenomenal talent. Hopefully he can give us more quality minutes. I think he was a little bit sporadic last year. But the talent is there. It's now, can he be more stable? And I expect kind of big things from him. And with our goalkeeper, he has all the talent in the world. I'm hoping that he has an all-conference season, but at the same time, we actually have 3 very good goalkeepers. So even for that's gonna be a battle in itself. Who's gonna be your number 1? Who's gonna be your number 2? Who's gonna be your number 3? So I think we're in a very lucky position, in a very good position, goalkeeper wise, where I think we're battling for number 1, and so we're in a good spot there, and I expect a commando to potentially, if he makes a number one, potentially be an all conference goalkeeper. Yeah, I think those kids are going to be guys that I see kind of potentially being in all conference players. But again, we have a very deep team. Oh, and Ken Nash, we'll see where we're going to play him. He's another kid. He was a sophomore, and he had his ups and downs as well as a sophomore in playing varsity. Now he's going to be a junior. He's another kid that I expect him to knock it out of the park this year.
Yeah, obviously a lot of talent and some question marks into seeing how those puzzle pieces all fit together. And certainly those things will certainly bear themselves out during the course of camp and in preseason as we approach the regular season. So a lot of excitement. And, last season, North Allegheny posted 7 shutouts. You mentioned your possession style philosophy. What made the Tigers defense so good last year? And how do you hope that momentum carries over this year?
Part of it is the players. Part of it, no. Most of it is the players, right? At the same time, my soccer philosophy is I start from the back. My defense is the most important thing, and I expect even our strikers to be very good defenders. Everybody defends, everybody attacks. So we were very good defensively as a team. That's a tricky thing about defending. You can't just have a good defender. Everybody has to be on the same page. So we spent significant amount of time as a team coaching them, getting us all on the same page. I think this coming year, now that the boys know the expectations, know the system, I expect us to be a lot better defensively. Even though we lost Kevin and Aiden. Those were actually our back four were very good. But I expect us to kind of not miss a beat because again, it's team defending, and we have we're lucky to have a deep roster.
Now, for those getting to know you, you're in your second year at North Allegheny now, but this is our first venture with the fall preview. So I'll ask you, tell us a little bit about yourself. You obviously have a great extensive coaching background in soccer. What brought you to North Allegheny?
So I recently moved from California. I was coaching college. I was coaching high school. I was coaching club. So 5 teams, juggling that, but it's just my wife and I, we decided to move to Pittsburgh. I was coaching with Riverhounds, and it was kind of right place, right time. Honestly, I was trying to get more involved with more teams, with high school, with college, and things like that. And Justin Evans threw my hat into the pool of applicants. I had no idea. I was done with high school. I was like, I'm not coaching high school anymore. And Bob gave me a call. Hey, would you be interested? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I was like, hey, okay, I'll go kind of out of respect. And after that, I kind of started doing my research on NA, how big the program is, how successful, and about Bob. And when I did my interview with him, we just kind of clicked. Bob and I were kind of on the same page, same ideas, high standards, winning. So I think him and I, we kind of philosophies, we kind of hit it off. And since it's not your normal high school, that kind of between Bob and NA being so successful, that hit it off because I want a college environment, a university environment, and that's kind of what I bring to the program. We review film, we practice, we prepare, we do everything as a. I believe I know we do more than some universities, some NCAA universities. So that's what I was looking for, being able to kind of put my fingerprints into the team, and obviously develop the players, which is the most important thing. Develop them and hopefully they get into a position where by their senior year or even before, now they have the ability to choose if they're going to play or not. I think for me, that's big because I never want to push, hey, you need to go play college, because I know some kids are very academically inclined. So, but I want them to have the option to decline playing. So that's kind of my goal. I want to set them up in a position where, hey, if they want to play college, university, that they have that chance. And if they pick not to, that's fine. But at least in the back of their mind, in 5, 10, 20 years, they can say to themselves, I had the ability to play college.
Well, we're glad to have you here now, year 2 under your tutelage, and looking forward to great things here in the fall of 2023. That's Coach Manuel Montero of the North Allegheny boys soccer team. Coach, thanks for being with us, and good luck this year.
Thank you, Randy. Take care. Thank you for everything.
That's our fall preview, boys soccer 2023.